Hello, my name is Robert Dean Steele, and this is Pastor to Pastor. We've been talking to young pastors about things that they should, avoid doing, and this is a little piece of advice. Please, don't sacrifice your children or your spouse for the sake of the church. Trust me. After 35 years later, the church will long forgotten you, and the sacrifice that you gave meant little. Now, my privilege has been that I've been going from church to church. I've served basically in about 7 or 8 churches in my tenure as a pastor, usually around 5 to 7 years. I'm currently in my 6th year as the leader of this particular assembly. And I want to tell you something. Don't sacrifice your kids or sacrifice your spouse. I know that what you're doing is important. I would never belittle that or make it less than it should be. But your family is what's really, really important. It's God, your family, and then your vocation. You see, at the end of the day, it's not the board members who are going to be there. It is not the church Sunday school teachers and all of those other individuals. They're very important in the time period that you're serving with them. But really what is important is your family and your spouse. In fact, you can gain the whole church and lose your spouse. You can gain the whole church world and lose your family. I can think of how many evangelists and pastors that I know who did all these great things for God, served the church so faithfully, and yet they lost their families. Don't ever do that. One of the things that I did to secure that very fact was, number one, I prayed for my kids every single day. I literally prayed for my kids. Secondly, I told you about an incident with my son, Robert, when he said, "Pastor Daddy." What I did right then and there was made sure that my children became a priority. I prayed for them every day, but I was very much an active part of their lives. And the privilege of that today is that I have children serving in the ministry. I have children who are serving the Lord. My children are all serving the Lord. And so are their spouses. And so are my grandchildren. But that didn't just happen. It was a conscious decision on my part to be able to make sure that I didn't lose my spouse or my family just because of the church. So, gentlemen, please guard your private time with your family. Guard your family. Make boundaries for them and the church. Let the church know that they are your family. They are not part of the ministry per se. If they become part of the ministry later, that's wonderful. But you know what? Let your kids be kids and make that distinction, that separation between the church and your family and that special time that you have. I know it's difficult, but it's you that has to make that decision. My name is Robert Dean Steele. This is Pastor to Pastor. You have yourself a godly day.